Welcome to Dejobnik, your command post for clarity and perspective.
Since the beginning of the war, the Hezbollah terrorist organization has aligned itself with Hamas and has chosen to commit acts of terror against Israel. Hezbollah is trying to divert our attention from the war in Gaza, disrupting the life of Israeli residents of the north. The aggression and attacks carried out by Hezbollah are fully backed by Iran and are the service to the Iranian regime that wishes to harm Israel. Over the last 3 months, Hezbollah has attacked the north of Israel, relentlessly firing rockets, mortars, and anti-tank missiles at Israeli communities and military outposts. These acts of terrorism are taking place in parallel to Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza, have led to an internal displacement of many Israeli civilians who have not been able to safely return to their homes. Therefore, the IDF, responding in self-defense, has engaged in very intense fighting on the northern front with the goal of reshaping security of the area that residents of the north can safely return to their homes. This is the Lebanese border, and this is the area of southern Lebanon where the Litani and Zahrani River flow. According to the UN Security Council Resolution 1701, following the Second Lebanon War, the presence of armed Hezbollah operatives south of the Litani River is prohibited. Despite the UN resolution, Hezbollah turned southern Lebanon into its main stronghold and built a number of terror systems in this area, from military posts to military bases to weapon facilities, while launching rockets that threatened the state of Israel. As the Gaza war began, understanding that Hezbollah may seek to perpetrate terror against our population, we deployed a large number of land, air, naval, intelligence forces along the northern border. And indeed, Hezbollah launched attacks against Israel and joined the war. In response to these attacks and using preemptive strikes, the IDF has been operating to destroy their operational capabilities in southern Lebanon. Since the beginning of the war, the IDF has carried out 3 main efforts in the north. The defensive effort, during which we have created a new defensive measures along the border. The offensive effort, during which we have targeted Hezbollah's forces and are damaging its military capabilities. And the readiness effort to prepare for a war on the northern border. Since October 7th, we have been engaging in a new defensive effort along the border with Lebanon to protect residents of the north and damage Hezbollah's capabilities. In this context, we have deployed 3 divisions along the border. We are preventing Hezbollah's attacks along the border, attempting to enter into Israel, to fire anti-tank missiles towards Israeli communities, IDF positions, and to launch rockets at Israel. So far, we have struck more than 150 terrorist cells and eliminated over 200 terrorists and commanders in southern Lebanon. Our policy is clear. Those who pose a threat will be targeted. The second effort is our offensive operations. Since the start of the war, we have struck over 3,400 military targets belonging to the Hezbollah terrorist organizations across the southern Lebanon. Looking at the southern Lebanon, it is a complex area with several towns and communities, most of which are connected to the Shia population in Lebanon. Like Hamas, Hezbollah has also embedded its terrorist infrastructure with the civilian population in Lebanon to make it difficult to target Hezbollah military assets. Our strikes are carried out based on precise intelligence with the goal of damaging Hezbollah's capability, not causing harm to the civilian population. We know how to strike any site used by Hezbollah for terrorist activities. We are striking 3 main groups of Hezbollah targeted. The first is Hezbollah's forces along the border. This includes Hezbollah's observation and offensive positions which are used to attack Israeli communities. We have targeted about 120 observation positions along the border. The second group of targets is Hezbollah's weapon storage facilities. These facilities are used to store various weapons, including missiles with various ranges, UAVs, weapons, and explosives. Since the beginning of the war, we have destroyed about 40 weapon storages that Hezbollah hid along the border. Hezbollah's weapon storages facilities were struck. You can see the secondary explosions caused by the detonation of the missiles stored in this site. The third group of targets is Hezbollah's military command and control centers, which are the heart of the organization's military activities, used to manage attacks Hezbollah's forces against Israel in both war and routine situation. So far, we have struck over 40 command and control centers used by terror operatives. We are also targeting significant central infrastructures belonging to Hezbollah, including the terrorist organization's aerial unit responsible for launching UAVs towards Israeli territory. In one strike, we targeted an airstrip used by the unit and eliminated the head of Hezbollah's Southern Lebanon aerial unit. In this video, you can see terrorists unloading UAVs from a vehicle, moving them into civilian building in the heart of a Lebanese town and preparing them for a launch. The Israeli Air Force struck the terrorists and stopped the launch attempt. Hezbollah endangers the residents of southern Lebanon, and we will continue to operate to prevent the terror of Hezbollah there as well. We struck a facility used to store advanced surface-to-air missiles that Hezbollah hid, intending to harm operations of the Israeli Air Force. The IDF has been striking other sensitive targets belonging to Hezbollah, which I cannot detail for security reasons. In parallel to strikes in Lebanon, we are operating to stop the supply chain of Hezbollah's weapons and missiles. Most of these weapons are smuggled by land and air from Iran to Syria and from there into Lebanon, in clear violation of UN Resolution 1701. Iran provides weapons to all the proxies in the Middle East. These weapons are not only used against the State of Israel, but against all of the Middle East. We have witnessed Iran's proxies posing the threat to both regional and international stability. Occasionally, Hamas operatives in Syria attempt to smuggle weapons into Lebanon. We identified these deliveries and targeted them using various methods which I will not detail before they reach Hezbollah. We are targeting Hezbollah's infrastructures in Syria as well. Since the beginning of the war, we have struck more than 50 such targets across Syria from the air and the land. We are also operating to ensure our operational achievements and to prevent Hezbollah from rebuilding. We will continue to operate wherever Hezbollah is. We will continue to operate throughout the Middle East, preventing all threats on Israel. What is true for Lebanon is true for Syria, and it is true for additional places further away. For example, about a month ago, we eliminated Hezbollah's cell in Syria. The third and final effort is increasing our readiness for war. While we would prefer diplomatic solutions, we will not hesitate to respond with force. War is not our first priority, yet we are ready for it. For the past 3 months, the Northern Command is cooperating with the Israeli Air Force, the intelligence, the Israeli Navy, and other branches of the IDF has been conducting a series of training and exercises to ensure that if given the order, we can transition to an immediate and significant operation. All the efforts I have described have already led an improved security situation in the north, which will continue to take shape in the future. We will not return to the security situation on October 6, when Hezbollah threatened Israeli civilians in the north and deceived the world. Hezbollah made grave mistake when he decided to stand with Hamas, partnering with kidnappers and rapists who carried out an unprovoked and immoral attack on Israel. We have made the decision to focus on Gaza and the efforts to dismantle Hamas. This decision is still valid. That is where the 136 hostages are, and our ultimate mission is to bring them home. Just as we are responsible to keep our citizens safe, Hezbollah is responsible for the price the Lebanese civilians may pay. Hezbollah is turning southern Lebanon into a terrorist stronghold. Just as we have fought against Hamas strongholds in Gaza, we will not accept the danger posed to our residents, and we will fight Hezbollah and all other terrorist groups that wish to harm Israel. We will return to security using all means at our disposal.
Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.